The door creaked open under the weight of a long, unforgiving day, and the single father froze where he stood, his breath catching in his throat as the smell of lemon cleaner and warm soup filled the small house he barely had the strength to come home to anymore. The living room that was usually cluttered with unpaid bills, scattered toys, and exhaustion looked transformed. And there, on her knees wiping the floor with quiet determination, was the last person he ever expected to see in his life again. The powerful CEO who had once signed his termination letter with a pen that changed everything. His heart began to race, confusion crashing into disbelief, because nothing about this moment made sense, and yet it felt like the beginning of something that would unravel everything he thought he knew about pain, pride, and grace. Before the story goes any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and quiet miracles that show up when life feels unbearable, take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel Soul Tale, where stories are meant to heal hearts that are tired but still beating. He stood there silently, work boots still on, hands shaking from both fatigue and fear, wondering if he had finally crossed into some cruel misunderstanding. Life had not been gentle to him. Since losing his wife to illness 2 years earlier, every morning felt like a battle he fought alone. He woke before dawn, prepared his daughter for school, worked double shifts at a warehouse after being laid off from his corporate job, and came home to a house that echoed with memories and unpaid promises. The promotion he once chased disappeared when he chose to take time off to care for his dying wife, and the company that praised loyalty quietly replaced him. From that day on, survival became his only goal, and hope became a luxury he could no longer afford. Now the woman who ran that company, the same one whose name was printed on towering buildings and business magazines, was in his home, sleeves rolled up, hair tied back, scrubbing his floor like it mattered more than any boardroom meeting. He felt anger rise, then confusion, then something dangerously close to breaking down. He wanted answers, but his voice refused to come. All he could do was watch as she stood up slowly, her eyes heavy with emotion, not pride. There was no arrogance in her posture, no distance in her presence, only a quiet humility that felt heavier than any apology. The house itself seemed to breathe differently as the evening unfolded. The kitchen was clean, the sink empty, fresh food prepared and labeled for the week ahead. His daughter's room had been gently organized, her favorite stuffed toy placed carefully on the pillow, as if someone understood how fragile that small world was. Every detail spoke of care, not obligation. He realized then that this wasn't a performance or a favor. It was something deeper, something intentional. The truth came out in pieces, not through dramatic explanations but through the weight of her actions. She had discovered, months too late, the real reason behind his sudden decline at work. The reports never mentioned hospital nights, chemotherapy appointments, or a man quietly choosing love over ambition. When she finally learned the truth, it shattered her carefully built image of leadership and success. She saw herself not as a visionary executive, but as someone who had failed to see a human being behind a resignation request. Guilt followed her home every night, growing heavier as she watched her own success rise on decisions that had crushed others. She didn't come to offer money or charity. She came because she couldn't sleep knowing she had the power to change a life and chose efficiency instead. Cleaning his house was not about the house at all. It was about restoring dignity where it had been stripped away, about showing up in the most human way possible. She wanted him to see that someone finally saw him, not as a liability, but as a father who never stopped trying. As the weight of it all settled in, his strength gave way. Years of silent grief, swallowed pride, and unanswered prayers flooded out of him. Tears came without warning, not loud or dramatic, but deep and unstoppable. For the first time since his wife's funeral, he felt seen. Not pitied, not judged, but understood. The house, once a symbol of everything he was losing, became a quiet sanctuary where healing began without words. Days turned into weeks and things slowly changed. Not magically, not overnight, but gently. She helped him find a better position, not through favoritism, but through recommendation and respect. His schedule stabilized. His daughter laughed more. The home felt warmer. What stayed with him most wasn't the opportunity she helped restore, but the lesson she unintentionally taught him, that even people at the top can fall to their knees when conscience finally speaks. If this story is touching your heart right now, if it's reminding you of a moment when kindness changed your path, or when you wished someone had seen your struggle, please take a moment to engage with this video. Your support helps stories like this reach others who need them more than you know. Just before the ending, we have a special request for you. Comment below and tell us, do you believe true success is measured by power or by compassion? In the end, the single father learned that broken moments are not the end of the story. Sometimes, they are the invitation for something unexpected to walk in, roll up its sleeves, and quietly remind us that humanity still exists. And the CEO learned that no title is worth more than a clear conscience, and no success is complete until it lifts someone else up. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Like, share, subscribe to Soul Tale, and carry this reminder with you. Kindness, when it arrives unannounced, can change everything.